Hello, welcome back to my channel, yes. Emergency bomba. Now, I've seen a lot of people on Twitter, they suddenly don't like words anymore apparently, but we've got a bomba. We have a major bomba. Bayer Leverkusen and Man City have reached a verbal agreement over Florian Wirtz, following advanced discussions, aiming to create more fluidity, whatever the fuck that means, between Man City and the player's entourage. However, Bayern München has made the best salary proposal. However, here's the problem. It don't matter what you propose salary-wise if the club won't let you buy Wirtz. Because Wirtz needs to be sold first. And currently, it's looking like if he's being sold to anyone, he's being sold to Man City. So, we need to understand a few things here. Let's get to chat first. So, what in the holy bombas of bombastic, bruv? Here's the thing though, yeah? A lot of people, and I always said that I'm not too worried. I'm not too excited about this news either. But I needed to be first to report on this one, of course. And I am first, by the way, to report on this. I am first on YouTube to report on this, but yeah, I was never too worried about what was gonna happen with Florian Wirtz, because all of this is just talk, it's hearsay, it might as well be hearsay. Like, this will be dismissed in a court of law, because it's hearsay. So, none of this matters. This means nothing, let's be honest. But it does also mean something else. The verbal agreement Bayern München has with Florian Wirtz, in fact it's not with Florian Wirtz, the verbal agreement they have, I know this is in Dutch, my apologies. The source is a Belgian guy, a Belgian journalist, so this is in Dutch, my apologies. I don't know if it's a translated version, but what it says here is his parents, Florian Wirtz's parents, have agreed a deal with Bayern. Also, Bayern München will sell for 100 million euros to a foreign club, but only 150 million euros to Bundesliga champions. So, again, my apologies, this is in Dutch. I don't know if there's an English version out there. You can always run this through ChatGPT. Like, if you want to translate this stuff, ChatGPT is very good at translating things, so grab this source, put it through ChatGPT, read it, go ahead. So, Florian Wirtz, it's far from done, mate, it's far from done. No, take your stinking balls of words, dirty ape. Bigger Planet of the Apes. Do subscribe, by the way, do subscribe. At first, we need Reinders and Wirtz, I expect you mean. Wirtz dream signing, but first in my team, no 8 possible signing is Reinders. This guy's proper good source. He's the first to give the Doku news. I didn't actually know that. I didn't really care about the Doku news, to be honest, when it came out. But apparently he's the first to give the Doku news as well. So yeah, Man City have agreed to deal with Bayer Leverkusen. So again, I have to revisit this. Bayern München has made the best salary proposal. But here's what you need to understand here. It don't matter how good your salary proposal is to a player. You can offer a player 500 million every fucking week. He's not gonna come to you as long as the club selling is not selling to you. Bayern München won't pay 150 million. That is my prediction right now. I will predict right now, this second. Bayern München will not pay 150 million for Florian Wirtz. Because to be able to pay that amount, they need to decrease Florian Wirtz's salary, which they've already agreed on. If they decrease that salary, now Florian Wirtz will no longer favor Bayern München. Because that's the only reason, because he made the better salary proposal. Florian Wirtz, I tell you man, yeah, this is far from done. Simple as Leverkusen want to sell Wirtz to City, not, well, to any foreign club. They want to sell to anyone outside of Bayern München. Let's go back to this article. I'm not sure if I've got it open anymore. So they say over here Again, I know this is in Dutch. In fact, let me put this through translate. Let's translate this to English, so that you guys can read this. So while Bayern München, so you guys know that I'm not lying. While Bayern München is demanding 100 million euros to let Florian Wirtz leave for the foreign club, not a direct competitor such as Man City, Real Madrid. I mean, that's all I guess. Barcelona is not in for him, so Man City or Real Madrid. The management of Bayer Leverkusen wants 150 million if the German champions get it. So that's Bayern München. Bayern München have the best salary proposal. They cannot pay 150 million for the Wirtz, whilst also having the best salary proposal. Wirtz also has never agreed to any deal. The deal was agreed by Wirtz's agents and parents. It's a verbal agreement. Nothing is on paper yet. It says that somewhere in here. It says somewhere in here that nothing has been agreed on paper yet. So in other words, all of this Wirtz to Bayern stuff, as I said it was nonsense. It's nonsense. They're not paying 150 million. They can't pay 150 million. I need you guys to understand. Bayern München already have an attacking midfielder. Bayern München, they need two new center backs. They need a new right back probably because Kimmich is getting old. They need at least one or two new midfielders. Not an attacking midfielder like central midfielders. They could probably use a defensive midfielder. They could use another winger. And they need a new striker. They're looking at 7 players, excluding attacking midfield. They already have a world-class attacking midfielder. You think, on top of 25 million over 5 years, they're gonna pay 150 million in a transfer fee? And then come the agent fees on top of that, which usually is a percentage of the transfer fee. So to hide the transfer fee, to hide the agent fee. You think they're gonna pay all of that for one position where they already have a world-class player, when they have 7 other positions to sort out? No. They're just not gonna. They could, by the way, if they're not gonna trust Urbeek, because currently Urbeek plays for the Bayern, if they won't trust Urbeek to become the first man for the Bayern München, they need a new goalkeeper. How are they gonna afford all of that? You can be rich, but you can't spend $1 billion in a single transfer window. You know? Wirtz father, his agent, nothing agreed on paper. Same with Man City though. Like that stuff, when you say that stuff, that goes both ways. Man City have agreed nothing on paper. Bayern München have agreed nothing on paper. Neither club has agreed anything on paper. Big up to Zeer, by the way. Big up to Zeer. How are you? Brother, we are getting Wirtz. I don't think you're getting Wirtz. I don't think you're getting Wirtz. I think Man City and Real Madrid both have a bigger chance than you. Simply because you're not gonna pay 150 million to get Wirtz. I strongly doubt you're gonna pay 150 million to get Wirtz. By the way, Alf, I've been saying our board's been acting poor when they aren't. Yeah, but they're gonna keep acting that way. They're gonna keep acting that way. It's not like Bayern München, after winning the Bundesliga, is suddenly gonna start acting like they're gonna need to fix everything up again. They're gonna say, we won Bundesliga, get the 3 new players in the summer, get a new centre back, get a new midfielder, get a new striker or winger, and they're gonna be happy with that. Wirtz offered 400,000 a week for Florian Wirtz. City, Bayern offered 400,000 for Wirtz. That's a very good thing I saw on Wirtz. I don't remember the exact thing. Wirtz said something about salary. I need to find it. You guys know what I'm talking about. Wirtz leaving Köln. Let's see if I can find this quickly. Advanced search. 1 second. I can't remember exactly what Wirtz said, but it was something in the spirit of when I left Köln, I didn't care about the salary, something like that. I don't see anything here immediately. All of this is in German. I can't find it immediately. I forgot what it was, but he said something about leaving Cologne, that he didn't care about salary. We will, because our supervisory board are the ones in charge of the deal. Usually our directors are the ones acting board these days, which is more of a sign for me. Plus we are gonna start selling players to get him in. 25 million a season. Yeah, but bro. Yeah, you need more than just Wirtz, and we're talking 150 million for Wirtz. You need a winger more than you need an attack midfielder right now. So I guess, okay, Wirtz comes in, Musiala becomes a winger now? Is that what happens? I mean, fair enough if that's what happens, but I don't think that is what happens. I think what happens is you don't pay 150 million for the Wirtz. Maybe I'm just scoping and hoping, but I guess we'll see that in the summer, won't we? All I'm saying is nothing is done with this Wirtz deal. People were all over the moon saying Wirtz is to Man City, then everyone was all over the moon saying Wirtz is to Bayern München. Nothing in this deal is on paper. Florian Wirtz right now, he is looking at if Man City gets top 5. If Man City gets top 5, we get Wirtz. I'm confident of that. This is going to delay. This is going to delay nothing finalized. City or the Bayern. Leverkusen agreed with City. Wirtz father agreed with Bayern München. Yeah, I see what you're trying to say there. So, Wirtz's family agreed with Bayern, but again, I mean, I'm repeating myself at this point, I know, but it doesn't matter if Wirtz agrees with Bayern München if Leverkusen doesn't want to sell to Bayern München. But we have Musiala. Musiala can play as winger or they can interchange. You are coping, I can't lie. We'll see. We'll see where he goes in it. We'll see. There's not a lot more I can say about this. I've already gone through the article. It's quite a few people in here though, but I guess I can say one more thing. Morgan Gibbs-White is not our attacking midfielder. No Morgan Gibbs-White in the 10. Beata Maria, guys. Let's say a prayer. Let's say a prayer to the good gods who have made sure Gibbs-White will not be out of 10. I don't think Gibbs-White is coming in to be out of 10. Gibbs-White looks almost complete. I'm not quite sure what stage is with that deal. But I still think if Gibbs-White comes in, he comes in as an 8. And then if Wirtz comes in, then he comes in as a 10. So they play together, I think. And what happens to Foden? Honestly, I'm not too sure what happens to Foden, but I don't really care. I don't really care what happens to Foden at that point. We've got better quality 10. We need our first signing, Reinders most. Nah. I would like him. I would like Reinders. Like, don't get me wrong. But he's not top of our list right now. If we get Gibbs-White in the 8, why get another 8? Man told Alonso that he wants Bayern. No, he didn't. This has been debunked. Bayern München themselves have come out and said that Florian Wirtz never said this. Bayern Leverkusen themselves came out and said Florian Wirtz never said this. So that's simply not true. His dad, his agent, literally wants him to stay in Germany. Dad's dad also said, I won't stop Wirtz from going to another club if he wants to. So Leverkusen will have no choice but to get rid of him. Yeah, but Wirtz can afford to move, just saying. Yeah, he can. And then he'll lose all the respect of Leverkusen fans. I think about Wirtz then Reinders 8. I mean, that sounds so. That's okay. That's okay. But we've already got Gibbs-White in the 8. Or it looks like we're getting Gibbs-White in the 8. Now, if Gibbs-White doesn't happen, then go get Reinders. But if we get Gibbs-White, there's no point in getting Reinders. That's what I'm saying. They're covering up. Keep in mind, Alf, this is all PR at this rate. Why would they blatantly say that he told Alonso this? For clicks, views, attention. Welcome to journalism. They're all desperate for attention, mate. I guess you must be new to sports journalism. A lot of lies go around. Remember when what's his name, Jude Bellingham was coming to Man City? They lied about that. Like, maybe that's a bad example because maybe you didn't follow that saga, but it's for clicks, views, attention. Like, a lot of these journalists will lie about a lot of things. That's why it's important to review multiple sources. Like this story that Man City have agreed a verbal agreement, this could be a big bomber. Two days from now, we could also hear that this is fake. Any plans, any player, sorry, can force if you have no contract. Leverkusen have 2 years. Yeah, they have 2 years, but do they have 2 years even? Do they have 2 years or do they have 1 year left? Transfermarkt word. Because Wirtz refused to sign an extension, didn't he? Okay, yeah, they do have 2 years left, but that's a bit tight, isn't it? Yeah, but that's a dumb thing to do. Alonso and Biden themselves. Wait, I'm confused what you're saying right now. By Leverkusen, it's 2 years left. I just looked it up. It's 2 years left. Bayer Leverkusen themselves have said that it was fake. A Bayer Leverkusen representative themselves came out and said that the story that Wirtz told Alonso that he wants Bayern München, they've come out and said that's a fake story. So at no point did Xabi Alonso say that Florian Wirtz only wants Leverkusen. By the way, you see the news, yeah, because Bild reported on this. Bild reported on all of this, yeah. The CEO of Bild suddenly continued reporting on the Florian Wirtz stuff. Bild themselves is saying nothing. The Bild Twitter account is not posting anything anymore about Wirtz. It's all coming from the CEO or whatever the fuck he is, manager or whatever, from Bild. Why? Because say no, nobody's gonna trust Bild as a source now, after they were pretty much ousted for lying. They're not gonna trust Bild now on Florian Wirtz. So now it's the head journalist, or whatever you call it, from Bild doing the reporting. It's still the same source, but they're pretending to be a different source. Wait, what? Wait and watch Lenjoy Wirtz saga, everyone, City and Bayern. Them saying it's fake is all a cover-up. You think it's a cover-up, bro? But I'll send you the link right now if you want to talk about it. I don't think that this is a cover-up. I'll send you the link if you want to talk about it. Nah, that's too much conspiracy theory for me. I think it's legit just fake. I think. I mean, come on, journalists lie. Like, I think we both agree on that. Journalists lie. Nah, I don't think it's a cover-up. I don't think this is Wirtz to Man City done, by the way. Not at all, because like, this is the problem. You need both the player and the club. Man City have the club, Bayern München have the player. Now the question is, who can convince the other first? Can Bayern München convince Bayer Leverkusen first, or can Man City convince Florian Wirtz first? I think it's easier to convince Florian Wirtz. Yeah, send the link. Okay, I'll send the link. Give me a second. 1 second, guys. I'm gonna be sending the link here to Zeer. Where is Zeer on Twitter here? Zeer. Why do I have so many fucking DMs? Jesus Christ. There you go. I've sent you the link on Twitter. Let me get my headset out. So yeah, I've sent the link on Twitter. I look a bit dark, don't I? 1 second, let me change the lighting. Oh, I've got matte delay as well. Oh my days. There we go, that looks a lot better. Let me kill my, let me turn off my camera for a second. Oh my days, I'm so laggy right now. Hello, Zeer. Hello.
Hey, what's up, man? Are you doing good?
I'm doing good. Yes, you think it's a cover-up?
Bro, so here's what I think. Because, by the way, I've read too many news on this Florian Wirtz saga from IMS and Mia, just like you do from City Extra. You know? I don't know. I feel like... So one time... So obviously, at the start, it's like our board... And I'm talking about supervisory board, the main guys. I'm talking about Karl-Heinz Rummenigge. I'm talking about Uli Hoeneß. They've been talking about this guy for 2-3 years. Right? They've been talking about this guy for 2-3 years. At one stage, I had Karl-Heinz Rummenigge say that Florian Wirtz is the best German player and you have Jamal Musiala on your team. So I'm like, this guy's saying all this. And now it's getting to a stage. At some stage, you better be doing something behind the scenes to make sure this deal gets over the line. Right? So... And then you start hearing news about Florian Wirtz and his father, who is his agent, saying that they would rather him stay in Germany before moving abroad, even though the idea of moving abroad could happen in the future. But like, he wants him to stay in Germany. Mm-hmm. So now I'm thinking that, cool, saying that, being a son of a father, you're more likely to take a tip from a father. It's not like any random agent in which they give you an advice and say, no, I want things, you know what I mean? So... There's a lot that's leaning towards going to our direction. But then again, I do get why you would think that it was debunked, because Alonso himself said it was debunked. The fact that he told Alonso this. The fact, I mean, Bayern probably said it. But my thing is, them saying it is a cover-up. Because I feel like if they were to say blatantly, oh, Wirtz told me he wants to go, then now all of a sudden, the guy is going to get booed by Leverkusen fans. It's, you know what I mean? I mean, listen, it can go either way. Some fans want them to say things outright, but like if they're gonna say outright, you'd rather them like say it to the public. You wouldn't rather them say it to the manager behind the scenes, would you? So it's like, yeah,
I hear you with that, but first of all, it's my thing. There's so many like transfer stories, where it's hyped up, like we've been monitoring this player since whatever, the dawn of mankind, and then they just don't go through. Like Club Brugge, I like drawing comparisons to Club Brugge here. It's shirts behind me. We were monitoring Haaland since he came through Molde, and Haaland almost came to Club Brugge, but the board finally decided, okay, we're not going to pay the money; it's too much. Just because you're monitoring a player for a long time doesn't mean you're going to get him.
Oh,
Florian Wirtz, obviously we've been monitoring and he's one of the best German players. You've got Wirtz and his family on board, absolutely. But you haven't got Bayer Leverkusen on board. Bayer Leverkusen don't want to sell to you. And that's the difference. Man City doesn't have the family and Florian Wirtz on board, but they do have Bayer Leverkusen as a club on board. So if Bayer Leverkusen doesn't want to sell to Bayern München, and Wirtz wants to go, his best option is either wait until your contract is done, or go to Man City. Real Madrid is not coming in for them, forget about them. If they come in for the Wirtz, let's be honest, Madrid gets Wirtz if they want him, but I don't think they do. So yeah, I think Wirtz, it's easier to convince Wirtz to come to Man City than it's to convince Bayer Leverkusen to sell Wirtz for Bayern München. That's what I think.
Yeah, but listen, I mean, here's the thing though. I feel like if that was the case, I actually think, because again, Bayern more than City. He and the fam want Bayern more, right? So if that is the case, if Leverkusen was to keep him by force, or like you should say, go City, he won't want that. Remember, the player has to agree to want to go there as well. It's not just like transfer down, unless if there was a release clause, I believe.
Yeah.
So basically, my point is, if he was to join you, cool, fine. By the way, I actually think he fits you guys like a glove as a KDB replace. I actually think he offer more than KDB in the long run. Not even gonna. I've been saying this.
Yeah, I don't.
I'll tell you why. No. I will tell you why.
Yeah.
I feel like the dribbling ability he has, you'd offer that more than KDB. But at the same time, the passing ability is there. You get me?
But De Bruyne also dribbled when he was in Bundesliga. But De Bruyne stopped dribbling. He's a very capable dribbler, De Bruyne. He just stopped doing it because his passing was so good he didn't need to dribble. And if Wirtz gets to that level, I think he'll become more of a passer as well rather than a dribbler. Because De Bruyne and Wirtz, I don't imagine you were watching the Belgian league when De Bruyne played here. They were very similar at the same age. But Wirtz is simply better than De Bruyne was at the same age. So Wirtz is like a 21-year-old De Bruyne right now, but better. That's what Wirtz is, but the way they play is very similar. So, but just because Wirtz is better now doesn't mean he'll reach the same peak as De Bruyne.
I don't know. That's time will tell, I guess. I guess Pep Guardiola plays a role in that too. I'll give you that
obviously.
But then again, the point I was trying to make is he does fit you like a glove. I just feel like this whole thing is going to be determined by what Florian Wirtz himself does. Because again, he and the family are on board with it. But the club, obviously, they don't want to sell to a competitor. By the way, the fact that they don't want to sell to us is why they're charging us that much money, by the way.
Yeah,
I think for you would be less money. It won't be 150.
Yeah. They are asking us 100 million and they're asking you 150 million.
By the way, we're trying 60 million somewhere. So that's.
You think anyone's going to pay 60 million for Coman?
Hey, listen, some clubs are dumb. Some clubs are dumb. Let's be honest. Either that, or he'll go to Saudi, and Saudi will pay. I'm from Saudi, by the way. I'll tell you from now. Saudi, they're not as dumb as people think. But a Kingsley Coman for that money, a certain club will pay it. A certain club will pay it. You know what I mean? But that's one. I think we're clearing out certain players. Like I've heard news about like Palhinha, they want to get rid of him. I don't think we should, but they want to get rid of him. You know,
I've not watched Bayern as much as you, obviously, but I find Palhinha very boring to watch whenever he plays. I find him very underwhelming.
Yeah, but again, he's one of them players you need just in case you're leading, you know, and you want to hold the result. That's why I would keep him. It's not because I think he's I think he's an unbelievable destroyer, but he's not an unbelievable overall midfielder, is what I would say. Yeah. But that's the reason why they're looking to get rid of him, because they want somebody that's more complete. So he's one of them. They're trying to get rid of Sasha Bowie. They're trying to get rid of other defenders. You know what I mean? And we're trying to. That's why, by the way, it looks like we're gonna get Jonathan Tah on a free, because he's on a free. You know, so we don't have to spend money to get him. Yeah, it's one of those ones, and that's also why.
That's already one centre back, though.
Yeah, and that's another. And again, that's why I don't think we get Dean Huijsen, because of the Wirtz deal and every competition and all that stuff. Like, even though we're linked with him, I don't see it. Maybe they'll sell Kim Min-jae as well, by the way. It looks like they might try to sell him. Apparently, Juventus are interested. So, like, I think the sales will determine if we can get the money to actually pay up for Wirtz. And I think over time, if we don't, then yeah, sure, then maybe then you have a higher chance. But I think if we're able to make the sales ahead of time, then that's when I'm like, okay, yeah, he's joining us.
Okay, so I guess here is the question. I guess. You need a centre back. Let's say you get on a free. You still need another centre back, probably.
100%.
You probably need at least one midfielder there, not attack midfielder, but like at least one other midfielder there.
Yeah, Spiller probably is what.
A winger or a striker as well.
So here's the thing. I agree we need a winger, but if let's say we did not get a winger, there's a lot of guys that have come up from our academy we never even given a chance.
Brian Zaragoza, for example, I believe is currently
Exactly,
on
Brian
loan.
Zaragoza, Vidovic, he's gotten very few opportunities.
Is Vidovic short? Is Vidovic? Yeah, he's on loan right now, isn't he?
Yeah, he came back from loan. We brought him back after giving Tel away.
Okay.
But we have Matisse Tel that they want to get rid. Who knows? Maybe we sell him to Tottenham permanently. Like, again, you know what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with
Selling
this?
your scraps to Tottenham.
It is what it is. Hey, listen, they gave us Harry Kane and Eric Dyer, so it's one of those, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then again, I hope, if let's say we don't get Wirtz, I also determine if we actually pay money for a winger, because this Max Erbel guy has this dream of getting Nico Williams. I do not want Nico Williams anywhere near my club. I think he's overrated.
I think Nico Williams is my thing with Nico Williams is he's a robotic player. So people who like just look at GA will rate him, and people who are like purists in football will not. I think he's an okay player. I don't think he's great, but I think if you put him in a Bayern München team right now, he'll do a job. He'll do a job in just being the robotic runner, getting the goals. He's not going to be consistently performing, but he'll get the output. And I think sometimes you need that. Sometimes you just need a player who gets the output. That's what I think Nico Williams is. But the amount of money you will need to pay to get him out of Bilbao, I don't think people realize how rich Bilbao is. They're not selling these players for scraps.
Yeah, by the way, they save up a lot of their money because they only use Basque players.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why they're able to pay insane wages. You know how much Nico Williams is on?
Oh, how much?
300,000 a week.
Yikes.
Like you can't get these Basque players have insane wages because they get Bilbao. And the people also forget here, because like if you're a Basque player, your dream is to play for Bilbao. Like kind of how if you grow up in Germany, your dream is to play for the Bayern München. So, okay, Florian Wirtz is not at Bayern München yet. Nico Williams is already at Bilbao. Why would he leave? He's on insane wages. He's at his dream club. And he's the star boy of the club. And honestly, they've got a generation coming up, a very strong generation, that in the next 10 years have a decent shot at winning La Liga at some point, if they strengthen enough. So why would he leave?
I hear it, but then again, at some stage you do have to move out of these type of teams to actually... The thing is with Nico Williams, I think it's the opposite of you. I actually think he has something to his game. The only problem is, you know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of Kingsley Coman. They're the type of players. They're the type of players that maybe they'll get you an odd goal here and there in certain moments. But when you watch them consistently, they don't provide as much output for me. And I also feel like his overall game is decent. I'll give you that. His overall game is pretty decent. That's why he looked good in the Euros when he was with Spain. I don't think at Bayern München we need somebody, because we create a lot of chances.
Yeah, we do.
Whether I think we're good enough or not, that's more because I feel like that style of football we have is too slow for me, right? And it gets caught out in the champs like it did against Inter Milan. But we'd still create a lot of chances. We need guys that can finish their dinner. And I don't know if Nico Williams will be that guy. I don't know.
I think he's more clinical than the wingers you have at the moment. Again, look at Brian Zaragoza. If you bring him back from loan, he's not clinical.
Yeah, he's not as clinical. I do agree. But he's a baller. He'll create something. He'll create something.
Williams needs good coaching. That's also not Schultz.
But coaching is overstated in my opinion, because I feel like sometimes the coaching is too much. Like look at Arsenal without Arteta, man. Oh my god.
I think that a manager can do more damage than they can do good. I think a manager can improve a team slightly and hurt a team significantly. That's what I think about a manager.
Yeah. The thing is, look at Inter Milan, for example. Inter Milan, because they don't have much ballers, like the only actual technically gifted baller I see there is Barella.
Yeah.
Right? So because of that, Inzaghi is able to actually use them and form a system with them. But with clubs like Barcelona, you can't really do that. With clubs like PSG, you all you could do is maybe place them in their position, let them do their magic. Like that's literally what it is. Like Real Madrid don't have much gifted players neither. But that's why they need a new manager than a Carlo now, because Carlo has died out with Madrid.
Yeah, I think that you know what I think about, yeah? There's a quote, and I don't remember who said it, but it's from Arsenal back in the Invincible season. And Arsene Wenger was instructing the entire team at halftime, and a new kid was coming onto the pitch. And then third thing, I believe it's Beckham who said this. Third thing, when the new kid came onto the pitch, forget what the gaffer said, now we just play football. These players, sometimes you just need to let them ball out. These players are not always going to listen to the manager as well. Look at De Bruyne, as an example at Man City. Pep Guardiola tries to tell something to De Bruyne. De Bruyne's answer is shut the fuck up. These players aren't always going to listen. Sometimes you need players who can ball out despite a system. Sometimes when a system fails, you need a baller there to bail you out. And that's, I think, what Man City has lacked all season. I think that's what Inter Milan lacked in the Champions League, because if they had a proper baller in the Champions League, other than just Barea, they might have been able to bail themselves out, I think.
But this season, they found a way to make it work, though, I have to say. Because,
yeah.
By the way, for me, and I'm sure you've gone through this with Man City, because let's be honest, you should have won way more Champions Leagues than you have. Yeah, it's not only about ballers, though. I think, and this is why I think Inter Milan will win this Champions League. It's about mentality.
It's about balance. I think that's the biggest thing. It's about
balance and mentality. I think if you have the balance and mentality, and you know how to stink a game out at the right place at the right time, you've won it all. You know what I mean? And obviously, the fine margins of finishing, not finishing, that plays a role too.
Mm-hmm.
But this is why I think there's two extremes. When again, as you just said, balance. I think it's all about balance in the whole thing. So, yeah, man, it is what it is. By the way, apparently there's new news on Wirtz from my end. I don't know if you've seen it.
I've not.
So it says here, and this is from, who's this from? This is from Stefan Kumberger and from Sport One. Okay, I don't know how reliable this is. It says Florian Wirtz's proposed move to FC Bayern looks to no longer be a question of if, but rather when. Okay, not enough for me. It says the Bayer Group, which is Bayer Leverkusen, has given CEO Fernando Caro the green light to sell Wirtz this summer. Okay, their clear objective is to get around 150 million euros for the player. Bayern are aware of the Leverkusen's demands. At the moment, Bayern bosses are not prepared to pay the full 150 million. That's not a good sign, but it's not completely unthinkable. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge is involved as a mediator with Leverkusen, also because of the strained relationship between Max Erbel and Fernando Caro. And I did mention that that's why Erbel will not be involved in this. I feel like Erbel has been he's been a problem when it comes to negotiations this past season. And with Wirtz, they're just worried about getting it over the line, which is why Karl-Heinz Rummenigge and Hunes, they're the ones in charge of this. This is not like the usual deals. That's why I think it somewhat plays a role. But hey, let's see what happens.
Again, that sort you just read out, it says they're not wanting to
it's not, I do have to say, it's not, exactly. That's one thing I do have to point out. I will say, though, it's not impossible that you get them. It's not impossible that we get them.
I agree. I think it's 50-50 at the moment. I think it's a race. I think it's a race. Who can be the first to convince the other can? We have to convince Wirtz before you convince Bayer Leverkusen. I think that's the race.
Yeah, and the thing is, your board. And by the way, I have to say something because, again, as an Arab person myself, I'm aware of what happens in Emirates, I'll tell you right now, people get it twisted when they talk about your club and it's just money. It's not only money. You guys have an owner that actually cares. Mm-hmm. In the Arab culture, we care about football, but obviously in your part of the world, not many people do care about that idea. They only care about that we have money. No, we have people that actually care. Yeah, that's why in my country, we're getting bare players to actually form a league here because we actually want to try to make it something. And as form our vision of 2030. So, listen, I think you guys can get Wirtz over the line. I'm not disputing you guys at all. Because, again, if it was, let's say, for example, Arsenal, now I'm like, we're getting, because let's be honest. Arsenal, who the hell are they? But because it's you guys, I actually have to take you seriously. The only reason why I adjust a bit is because I feel like the fact that it's a German club and he's German and his dad
Yeah.
wants this. All these, I feel like at some stage they're gonna try to force it to happen. That's the only thing. But let's see, man. Let's see what happens. It'll be a very interesting saga, in my opinion. Very interesting.
Yeah, no, I hear you with that. Because obviously most Germans, they do want to play for Bayern München. Let's be honest. Most German players, they want to play for Bayern München. Even before Kroos, before he went to Real Madrid, he first went to Bayern München. These players, they want to have at least one season at Bayern München, even if they don't play there for long. And if Wirtz goes to Man City, there's a good chance he leaves in 3 years or something like that for the Bayern München. Like these players, they wanted to be at Bayern München. Look at Leroy Sané. He wanted to go to Bayern München, even though he had everything at Man City. He wanted to go to Bayern München. Bayern München is just that club.
Yeah, and the less we talk about Zani, the better. Because I'll throw a tantrum, and I don't want to do it on your channel, bro. You know what I mean? I have enough respect.
Go ahead and throw a title on my channel.
Nah, I don't know how you felt about him at City, but oh my god, his attitude reeks. Oh my god, his attitude reeks, and his one-on-one conversion rate is pathetic, bro. At one stage I was defending him, and now I'm like, I can't defend the indefensible. I really can't. Like,
I think he was when he was at City, I think he was coming through, and he always had the dream to go of I want to go to Bayern München. When he was even at City breaking through, so he had always the right mentality. He was trying to make himself better. And when he got to Bayern München, in his head he thought I made it, and that's why his mentality went to the floor. Because he thought I made it. He thought I don't need to improve anymore. I don't need to work on myself anymore because I'm here now. And that's why his mentality has been shit since he got to Bayern München.
No, but I don't think it's just that though. I think his ACL injury with you guys also played the role in terms of like his ability. Like not mental, because the mentality you're correct, but in terms of ability as well. Because let's be honest, everything he did at City, it's not the same as what he's doing at Bayern because of that ACL injury. So it's a mix of both. I would say. Yeah,
but I think players can recover. Young players can recover from ACL injuries to some degree, but he never quite.
And he got more injuries, by the way. Like with us.
But when you get that many injuries as a young player, it's one because you're being overplayed, but that wasn't the case with Sani. And two, it's because you're not working on yourself. Look at Cristiano Ronaldo. When he gets injured, I mean, I know it's bad to compare to Ronaldo, but when he gets injured,
it's the right thing to do, actually.
When he gets injured, he's doing everything in his power. He's going on diets. He's taking care of his body. He's doing massages. He's taking ice baths. He's doing everything possible to get his body back to standard. Exactly. What did Sane do after he got injured?
Exactly, bro. Yeah, I hear 100%. But yeah, I just wanted to stop by to just give you my insights on the Florian Wirtz thing, since you offered the invite. You know what I mean? Thank you very much for that. But yeah, I do have to bounce. But hey, one thing I will say is that let the better side win on this deal, man. Because I actually think this is a very interesting saga. Very interesting saga.
Imagine if after all of this, Real Madrid get the Florian Wirtz.
Oh, no. By the way, I'm telling you right now, I think us two have a better chance than Madrid. Because Madrid, right? And you, again, the point you mentioned on my club. I think that should be mentioned on Real Madrid more than us. Because we at least have some, bro. They need to get rid of Alaba, Militao. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you know what type of standard Perez has. That guy, he will do whatever it takes to be back. That guy will be the scummiest individual if he has to.
You'll get the ground envelopes going.
Oh yeah, bro. I'm telling you right now, that Saliba's gonna happen probably. You know, maybe the Dean Huijsen thing's gonna happen. Who knows? Allah A'lam. You know what I mean?
You think Dean Huijsen is good enough for Real Madrid?
I mean, listen, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, maybe you watched him more because, again, Premier League. So you'll have more of an idea. But from what I have seen, because I've only seen him in the Nations League, to be honest. And he looked pretty good on the ball. He looked pretty solid defensively.
No, that's the problem. He's like a 7 out of 10. He's like always a consistent 7 out of 10. He has like his one odd games where he's a bit better, but like Real Madrid don't want a 7 out of 10, do they now?
I mean, yeah, but let's be honest. If you look around world football, who's really 10 out of 10?
Yeah, world football is fucked, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, brother. So we gotta be real with ourselves. You know what I mean? Bro, you know, in my culture, we have a saying, هذه نعمة من الخير. You know what that means?
No.
Yeah? I'll tell you right now. It's a blessing from God. From the great of God. You know what I mean? Greatness of God. So, like, again, like, all we can do is take that bare minimum right now.
Yeah.
That bare minimum is a blessing. You know what I mean?
You know what's not surprised me? If Real Madrid got Saliba and Gabriel both Arsenal central backs, because Arsenal is that type of club that the moment the money comes in, they'll cash in. If they go for both Saliba and Gabriel, two players experienced in playing with each other, used to playing with each other, I think they could get them both. Which would be wild, by the way. Imagine Arsenal losing their best two centre backs. And then they'll start putting Calafiori in centre back. Oh dear.
Yeah,
I will be dead for that. I'm praying for that to happen. Actually, Arsenal will finally start being shit again. It's kind of like Union. They fall off the moment Burgess is out. Anyhow, thanks for coming on, Zeer.
Thank you very much. Yeah, man.
Go check out Zeer's channel. I've put his link in chat here for anyone who hasn't subscribed yet to him. Go check out Zeer's channel. Big up for coming on. I'll see you guys on next one, and I'll see you on next one.